Wow. That was bad. Madam Web released this past weekend in 2024 and is directed by S.J. Clarkson, who is mainly a TV series director and has made her feature-length debut with this film. And this movie is starring the ever-so-enthusiastic Dakota Johnson, Sydney Sweeney, Celeste O'Connor, Isabella Merced, Tahar Rahim, Mike Epps, Emma Roberts, and Adam Scott. I do apologize for my voice. I think it sounds a little congested right now. I'm still recovering from COVID. I am currently testing negative for it, but this past week I was testing positive, so on the road to recovery. I'm feeling fine now, and I was able to watch this movie safely, but I'm still feeling it. I don't know if it's from the actual COVID or if it's from the reaction of watching this movie, so it could be either or. That is the biggest message I got out of this movie. This movie kind of equals COVID. That's a terrible thing to say, and I'm going to retract that. Maybe I'll edit it out of this review. Maybe I won't, because I'm just so tired. Whatever, let's get into it. Cassandra Webb is an okay EMT, and one day she starts having visions of terrible things that are going to happen in the immediate future. And as she starts taking matters into her own hands to prevent the terrible things from happening, she befriends 3 random girls who are the target of a sinister spider-looking type humanoid person who happens to be a man because his life is threatened by said girls. So Cassie takes the girls and tries to hide them while also uncovering all of the secrets of her hidden past and her mother, because these are the reasons why things happen. So I will preface this by saying I don't know much about Madam Web. I know of the character. The most I know about her is from the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. She would always appear randomly to interfere with whatever Peter Parker was doing, saying, "Oh, you need to prepare for the battle that's coming." And she kept doing that, like, over and over and over again, until finally we made it to Secret Wars in that Spider-Man cartoon. That was pretty cool, from what I remember. But she was very annoying, because she would always just pop out of nowhere. He's in the middle of a fight trying to save people, or trying to take down the Hobgoblin, and then there she is. "Spider-Man, you must prepare for the battle that is coming." That is all that I know. And after watching this movie, that is still all that I know of the character of Madam Web. I couldn't tell you what Sony is doing with their Spider universe. They're doing some amazing things with Across the Spider-Verse and that whole Miles Morales animation field of the Spider-Man. That's awesome. The live action stuff where they're focusing on all the villains in the Spider-Man universe that supposedly doesn't have a Spider-Man is so confusing to me. And I must say, the marketing of Sony is pretty frickin' brilliant, because the images that we get, the trailers that we get from each one of these movies, Venom, Morbius, Venom 2, they all look terrible. Like, god-awful. But they embrace it somehow. Like, we know this is terrible, but we're still gonna put it out anyway, because all of you nerd boys out there who love superhero films are just gonna go watch it. So, yes, this is looking like shit, but we're still gonna continue making it, because yeah. So when I go into every single one of these movies, my expectation, my bar of expectations is so low that when I'm sitting there watching it, I go like, okay, so I was expecting this to be the worst film ever, and this wasn't, so therefore it exceeded my expectations. Wow, that movie wasn't complete shit. Therefore, this movie is amazing! I don't think it worked for this movie, though. Even though my expectation was probably the lowest it could be. I had no expectations for this movie. I'm not a huge fan of the cast, in particular when it comes to Dakota Johnson. I feel like she's just a flat piece of wood in every single film that she is in. There is no emotion behind her at all. She always looks like she's annoyed by everything too. Whether it's on the press junket or whether she's actually portraying the character on screen. In every single film that I've seen of her, she always looks annoyed. Her character is always annoyed. But going back to the marketing, my expectations for this movie were as low as they could possibly get. And somehow this film surpassed that by being below the bar. I knew it was gonna be shit. I knew the acting was going to be shit. I knew the story was gonna be shit. The villain, I definitely knew that villain was gonna be shit. What's his primary goal and function in this movie? Well, he has dreams for several years of these 3 girls in Spider-Man uniforms killing him. And he is not going to let these girls kill and ruin everything that he's built. So he's going to hunt them down before they kill him. Oh, world domination. Yeah, so the villain here sucks. Even though I think if this Madam Web character is in the same universe of Morbius and Venom and Carnage and all these side characters, Kraven that we're going to be getting later on this year, if Madam Web is in this universe, is this like the first man-in-spider outfit that we have seen in this specific universe? I think it is. And if that's the case, my god, it's a fucking letdown to live in that universe. Now, I was expecting the villain to be terrible and the story to be terrible and the visual effects. I mean, they weren't terrible, but there were definitely nothing special here, and the story was going to be terrible. I was not expecting this film to be such a letdown in basically creating the characters. This is supposed to be the origin story of Madam Web, and while it kinda is, like, we get the reasoning why she has these powers. Now, what these powers are, they never really specifically tell us. It's time travel, and if you master it, you can be in multiple places at once. And we still haven't seen that. We kind of saw it at the end, but we still haven't really seen it. The three girls that we're constantly talking about in this film, about how they're going to eventually kill this man in the future, they never suit up. I'm sorry, the spoiler for you, if you're going to go see this movie, they never suit up. Only in hypothetical dreams. That never happen. So all the advertising, the posters where you see like Sydney Sweeney on there with all the spider webs, and then in the back you see her Spider-Woman outfit. Yeah, that doesn't happen. None of this happens. And part of me loves that. I love that Sony went ahead and did it. Like, yes, let's tease that this is fucking going to happen in promotional material, in trailers, in posters, all of this shit. Let's promote this, and then let's not fucking do it. I gotta tell you, let's give it up for the Sony marketing department. I fucking love them. I can't wait to see what they do with Kraven. I mean, they already advertised it to come out last year, and then they pushed it back an entire year, so the marketing department's already winning with that one again. But man, what a letdown of a film that I was already expecting to be a letdown. And I don't know why, that just puts a smile on my face. Like, yes, I knew this was gonna be shit. And the fact that Sony was able to exceed the shittiness that I was expecting is just tremendous. It's fucking tremendous. I have no inclination to go back and watch this film again, other than just to pick out all of just the ridiculousness that I knew was going to happen in this movie, and yet I was just shocked that it still happened. I don't know why I do this to myself. Madam Web is definitely not worth your time, but the more I talk about it, how it's not worth your time, it may be worth your time doing it, because I'm laughing, I'm smiling, I'm having a great time talking about it. Gosh, you know what? If you got drunk and you went out and watched this one, responsibly, of course, I would think you have a great time with this movie. But besides that, there's not much redeeming qualities about this, so I'm gonna give Madam Web half a fucking Blu-ray.
No! No!
So guys, have you seen Madam Web? What did you think about it? What is your ranking of all of the Sony Spider-Man villain universe films that have come out? Where does this one rank amongst them? Whatever you thought, comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I'm releasing next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.